All right, I'm going to tell you about 4 bows that I'm going to give you a speed test and maybe a bit of a review. The first bow I have over here is the RX5. I bought it this summer. It is at 80 pounds. It's over an 80-pound bow. I think it's running a little closer to 82 to 83 pounds. Then I have here a bow that I'm planning to buy. This is the new V3X 29 inches. It has a 75-pound setup. It's coming out at 76 pounds. Over here's the bow I took to Africa this summer. It's 80 pounds, and it is the Obsession Defcon 6. And then I have a new Expedite that is 80 pounds also. I don't know if it's coming up a little bit higher than that or not, but it's around 80 pounds. All these bows are, well, 3 of these bows are set at 29 inches. That is the RX5, the Mathews V3X, 29 inches, and the Expedite. It's also is set up at 29 inches. The Defcon 6 is actually set at 28.5, so only a ½ inch difference between it and the other bows. Again, we're kind of comparing 70-pound or 80-pound bows to a 75-pound bow, and I want to shoot through the chrono using a 430 grain arrow right here. Okay, the first one up is the 75-pound V3X, 29 inches. 29, and it's also set up at 29 inches, shooting a 430 grain arrow. I like the setup. I'm sure you've seen plenty of videos at this point about how it's all integrated and it's flat and close to the riser, and you can put the sight in the middle. I feel, drawing back this bow compared to the V3, I felt the valley seemed just a little bit more generous. Otherwise, the cycle, obviously the draw cycles are similar, but again, the valley seemed a little bit more generous. But again, that is based on memory and owning the V3 and everything else just about that Mathews has had. This one I am thinking about buying. In fact, I've already pretty much planned to. I like the whole setup. I think it would be a really great addition to my bow collection, and making it an excellent hunting tool for next year. Again, excellent draw cycle, pretty generous valley, a little short. I tried to pull back, shorter than the other two. 430 grains. And we come out at 309 feet per second. Let's see if I can get that in the picture. 309. So again, that's with 75-pound limbs, 29 inches, and so forth. So, in fact, I feel like I'm getting a little bit more speed per pound than the other two, as you'll see in a moment. This is my Hoyt RX5. It is an 80-pound bow. As I remember, when we tested the actual draw weight, it was closer to 82 to 83 pounds, as I remember. Anyway, back in June or August when I got this, I can't remember now. It is set at 29 inches. I think it's just a really beautiful bow. The intricacies, it's obviously, like all bows nowadays, expensive. The draw cycle is different than any other Hoyts in the past, in the sense of having a really hard back wall. And the draw cycle is just a bit different, and they, of course, have changed it up a lot for that. I do like this bow a lot. Let me just go ahead and shoot it through the chronograph again. 29 inches, 80 pounds, 82 pounds, 430 grain arrow. I'm going to let down a little bit again, kind of like what I did with the Mathews. The letdown is actually, it's more locked in than the Mathews was, which I actually like. I got an error on that reading, so let me shoot another one. Another 430 grain arrow. I like that the bow is more locked into place. That's just kind of a personal preference I have, because I can be a little lazy in the back wall. Very solid. Nice draw cycle. And that came out at 312 feet per second. So again, we're shooting an 80 pounds limbs. We're almost at 313. So it took obviously more draw weight to equal the same speed as the Mathews, which is due to IBO and so forth. It is a little heavier to pull back because it's 80 pounds, but you're more locked in than the Mathews at 75, which is 76 actually. Let's give the Expedite a shot now. I'm at Crooked Creek Outdoors in Macomb, Illinois. That's my hometown archery shop. A great place to get a Bowtech or Mathews bow and a PSE. And so I'm using his range and setup today for this review. Now I'm going to tell you about my Expedite. I did buy that also this year. So it's a 2021. It is an 80 pound bow, but I believe right now it's hitting 79. Maybe we can throw an extra twist in the cable if I was concerned about it. It does have high let off mod, so it's probably going to be more like a 350 IBO bow versus a 360. The brace height's a little bit shorter than the others. Big valley that you can expect with evolved cams. This feels like a very powerful bow when you shoot it, I have to admit to that. So again, we're shooting a 430 grain arrow at 29 inches. Again, the valley, the letdown is, isn't there. Just like like you expect nowadays with the evolved cam. That came out with an error reading. Back wall is extremely solid. Draw cycle smooth enough, drops a little bit. And that one came at 318 feet per second. So it is the fastest of the bows set up. Obviously we're still comparing some apples and oranges a little bit, but it is the fastest bow, and I like it. Now this is my Defcon 6 from Obsession. It is an 80 pound bow, has limb stops. And I took it to Africa, killed a lot of stuff. You can see that on the Paul Korn Bow Hunting channel. Again, it is a 430 grain arrow. And like I said, I had a great time in Africa with it. You can see some of the dust on it, it's a little reddish. Shot zebras and giraffes and Cape buffaloes with this bow. It is a 28 and a half, so it's going to be a little bit slower because of half an inch. But again, it served me really well in Africa. This one you're really locked in, so it's aggressive up front and then you're really locked in. Got an error reading on that one. Let me restart it. What I like about this bow is it kind of deal with all the pulling at the front end, and then it has a really long, generous valley in the back end compared to the others. That one gave us 304 feet per second. Let me shoot one more because it did hit my sleeve.
How fast is it?
The Mathews came out at 309 feet per second.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, and that's at 75 pounds. That's 430 grain arrow too. I wanted to give the Obsession one more chance, and then maybe we'll shoot the other ones to see how I feel. I feel like these have been pretty good readings. Came out at 306 that time, 307 for the Obsession. Right, I'm going to shoot a couple more of these. This is, again, the V3X. It's in granite. They don't have stone tactical anymore. It's a very pretty color. I like the intricacies, but to be honest with you, a lot of these V3s and VXRs, they all look pretty similar to each other to me. But I do like the grip a lot. Obviously, the after shot of these bows are amazing, and I really think the new setup is just really cool and helpful. The integrated rest, the integrated arrow quiver, and so forth. Again, this was the only one without a peep, and it has not been tuned. Still a really decent valley, just shorter than the others. And you can see I'm a little bit lazy in that. And we got 305. So again, it's doing quite a bit with the 75-pound limbs. I know a lot's made about how vibration-free that bow is, and it is. But you know, a lot of these bows are pretty vibration-free. All have pretty good draw cycles. And, you know, so a lot of it just really comes down to personal taste. I like this bow a lot. The bow I took to Africa, the Obsession, you know, I really know it, and I really like the really long, generous valley on it. Let's try this one again. It's pretty hard pull at front, and then it is a very generous back wall. I mean, I would have to really kind of lazy to lose it. It does have a kisser. So I guess that's something else to keep in mind. The Mathews does not have the peep or the kisser at this point. Holds well. Right, let's give this another shot. Expedite. It's actually pretty good, generous draw cycle for the speed it's putting out. So one last look. I set the corner up with this maybe a little bit better. We'll see if that changes anything. Draw cycle is decent on this. It's a long axle bow feeling. Let's see. one of the easier draw cycles. That time I got 315. I've been up to as high as 319. RX5. A little tough in the beginning, but I have a feeling the chronograph probably needs some new batteries. Let's give the RX5 another shot. And that came out at 308. All right, the Defcon 6, 80 pounds, 28.5 inches. The others are 29. And that came out at 308 also. Here we got the Mathews one more time, the V3X 29 at 29 inches. And it's actually drawing at 76 pounds. Oops, upside down. I don't have it set up with a peep or a kiss or anything like that, so it's a little awkward shooting for me. Obviously a little bit easier to draw because of the lighter weight. And that one says it came out at 308. .311. So this bow is doing really well. Anyway, to make a long story short, all these bows shoot similar speeds, but this one was doing it at 76 pounds, while the others were doing it around 80 pounds. It's going to be easy to buy this bow based on what I'm seeing here. I do like a little bit more generous back wall that I'm seeing in some of the other bows, but it's very easy and solid back wall here too. The grip's great, compact. So anyway, this is the bow I'm planning to buy in December. I have to do some thinking about those other bows. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this video anyway, got some speeds from a non-biased perspective and not the most setup situation. At least I really enjoy bows and shot a lot of them, so you got at least an unbiased perspective in that regard. I do buy a Mathews every year, mostly to support my local shop, so I encourage you to definitely support your local archery shop, keep them in business, and have a good rest of 2021. Hopefully it's a lot better than what it's been. Take care, and goodbye.